And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39, so solid starting field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Check 99.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football. But maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the Redskins' 32-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Now they'll throw it. Wentz steps away to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Ready? Right. Check back 47. Hey, defense. Hey, defense. Let's go. 47, Mike. 47, Mike. Mike, 47. Double.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. A deep ball for Dotson. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. 36 yards on the play. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Wentz completes it to Aguilar. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. To throw, it's Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Tressway now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Jackson. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So they're good.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 27.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll run with Geis. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
I'm going to hit you
He was
all
brought
day.
down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
47. Check, 47. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Jackson to return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 37.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Man, I got you. Man.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Let's go.
Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Final play of the half. It's Haskins. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that'll incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Wentz now on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. To throw is Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. 15 yards on the play, first down.
A gain of 15. First down, Eagles.
Here we go.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got room.
Let's go, baby. Here we go. We're Cooley. Let's get off the field, G. Let's get off the field.
Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be fielded at the 8. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Haskins to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Throwing is Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 25-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 26-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Wentz going to throw. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Ryan Kerrigan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 14. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Now Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. It got his man complete. That one goes for 30 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now it's Haskins. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated, the front and the back.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Haskins will throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Let's go, boys.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. On the return, Jackson. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player or broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And an Eagle first down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Check 53's mine. Not here.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game, but they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He's trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and that'll bring up second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
You go tight. You got tight.
Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 53.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Andrew Adams. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Intercepted by the Eagles. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And, you know,